Okay guys, it's time to do the face palettes. Right, so I want to try this for a little bit longer, the Sunkissed Copper Crush, so I'll keep that. This Ulta Beauty blush, I liked it, it was okay, but I don't need to keep it. I might pass that on. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass that on. Then we've got the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow. I like this, so I'll keep this. Oh my gosh. The bronzer's screwed up though. I need to pull this out next shot my stash. It's really breaking, can you see? I probably have to put this bit in the bin. Hang on. Right, so I've really pressed it down. I think we need to focus on at least panning the bronzer. So the next That's Expensive project pan update I do, this is coming in. That's just a spoiler alert, and it's going to stay in until I've used the bronzer at least. I do like that peach glowy blush as well, and it's perfect for this time of year. Then we've got the, and this one's you're gonna see the Reflect, the Sleep Makeup. What's this one called? I can never remember the name. Highlighting palette in Solstice. Got this beautiful highlighters, so I'm going to keep that as well. While they're working, I'll just keep them. I love the packaging of this, but it's way too dark. It's really random colours. It's a cranberry jelly highlighter palette. It's really random colours. Let me show you. And yeah, you can use that pink as a blush topper, I guess, and even that orangey gold to a certain extent. I just don't want to. Okay, so now we've got the Simpsons Revolution Treehouse of Horror. Really love this one. It's great for Halloween as well, as it was a Halloween collection, so definitely keeping that. Part of me feels like getting rid of this. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's the two highlighters. That one is definitely too dark, and that one I probably got 10 times over. Even that one looks dark. I think I'll declutter it. Not sure where it's going to go, but look at that packaging. Bougie. And it's Smashbox too, which was quite expensive. Now this one isn't going anywhere. This one is a dupe for my Dior one. In fact, I prefer this one better. Oh, because it was on slow-mo. I pressed slow-mo for some reason. So that's that palette there. I really like it for on the go. So that's that one there. Natural Beauty was the first one she came out with. I've had it years. I'm keeping it. I'm going to keep this one too. It's just the highlighter. Let me show you anyway. I used the bronze roll up. I need to use the highlighter up. Yeah, so I'm keeping that Charlotte Tilbury highlighter in that palette. This is the Revolution Radiance palette, which I also want to keep. This one is Radiance, like I've just said. These are really good powders, very dupeable to the Hourglass ones, especially that one in the middle. Natasha Denona Bronze Cheek Face Glow Palette, Decluttering. Yeah, I really didn't get along with this. I mean, like a lot of people have, you know, but it's just not to my taste. I think that bronze eyeshadow there looks gorgeous all over the lids, but it's like, how many bronze eyeshadows do you actually need? And I've got so many bronze eyeshadows in my collection. I've actually got the Natasha Denona bronze palette, so I certainly don't need this to act as a bronze eyeshadow, do I? So that's going. Revolution Strobe Lighting Palette. I've not used it that much. I won it in a giveaway. I think I'm going to keep hold of it just for a little while. This is very pretty as well. So yeah, I want to keep hold of it till at least next spring, and then I'll probably, I mean, I know I like the white, but I'm not too sure about the yellow and pink. If I only like the white, I'll declutter it. W7 Sculpt Power the Cheek. This one's going. It's dupe for the Benefit blush and bronzer set. So that's what it looks like. It's still got the plastic on. You can still see the imprints. I've used it once, maybe twice. So that's going. Urban Decay Kristen Leanne I'm keeping. So that looks like that. Realistically, the only one I can use is the one in the middle. Sometimes I use the one to the right as well, but that one on the left is more of a bronze topper, which I think I'm going to start using as kind of a glowy bronze over a matte bronze. Then we've got this grease palette that my friend Karen got for me, glowing in grease. This is beautiful. So yes, I'm going to keep this. Those tones though at the top, I used to use a lot of those orange peach tones, so I understand why she bought it for me. I'm not much of a lover of them, so it might only be in the collection till spring, and then maybe I'll pass it on to someone that will use it more than I do. But it's got the shade Santorini in it, and it's dark, but I like to keep it around because I've been to Santorini and I had a really lovely time there. It was a friend's wedding and she got married in a winery and it was just beautiful. So I keep it for that reason. But I've got the memories of Santorini. I don't need a palette of Santorini, do I? With it being one of the shades that I probably never use as well. But for now, I'm going to keep it. This is another one of those Revolution Radiance palettes. This one is Beyond Radiance. So this one's the older one. It looks like I've used this the most. Yeah, I think I've used this the most. I think this one our favourite over the other one, just because of that white powder. It's really nice for under the eyes. Okay, so we've got this Becca, what is this thing called? I always forget. Blush with Light. So it comes with those blushes there, and that in the middle is a blush, but it's like a bronzer hybrid. I'm going to keep this. And this is another palette that I should really be working on, because it's just going to go bad because it's that old. So yeah, I do want to work on this maybe next year. Then we've got this BH Cosmetics palette. This can go. I mean, it's got some nice highlighters in it. I've got different coloured highlighters. I don't need to keep a big palette like this. It never gets used. Okay, so I'm sat on the chair now. So we've got the Benefit Cheeky Party Package. This can stay. I'm still testing it out, really. It's about a year, maybe a year and a half old. So let me show you. So that's what that looks like. So you're getting Shelly Dandelion and Dandelion Twinkle. Definitely want to use that more. It's weird though, Dandelion looks like it's got hard pan already. So yeah, keeping that. Okay, so we've got this Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette. Very ancient. I think this is... Oh, I've actually got a highlighter as well. I'm going to say I think this is my last Jaclyn Hill product in my collection. So I got a highlighter as well as this, but yeah, I think they're the only two products. Oh no, I've got a lipstick as well, which I've not seen for ages. I need to do the high-end lipstick declutter. I think I'll do that after this. So you can see I've hit Major Pan there. I think that's Champagne Pop. So the highlighters are Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. And then we've got those three really, really nice blushes up there. So again, it could be a palette that I pan in 2025. Right, so that's my newest palette. I got that last Black Friday. That was the last thing I ever bought for myself, and I've not bought, apart from the foundation and the primers, I've not bought any makeup. Like, what I consider makeup is eyeshadow palettes, face palettes, highlighters, bronzers, anything like that has not come into the collection, not from me anyway. I've had gifts come in from friends. Naomi's bought me a couple of things, but anyway, let me show you what this palette looks like. Oh my gosh, is that not just stunning? Look at that pink at the bottom. Well, both pinks are really, really nice. And then we're getting two setting powders in this, which is nice. In the other palette that I'm panning, we're getting a full setting powder like down here, and then these four shades here are, I think, blushers, bronzer and highlighter. So they've switched it up this time. Well, I think they switched it up the last 2 years. My palette was from 3 years ago, so yeah, this one of course isn't going anywhere. She expensive. Okay, the YSL makeup palette. The only thing with this, I would think YSL could come up with a better name, and they probably have by now. I've not really checked out any of the YSL makeup products. I think I've only got 2 lipsticks from them and this. I want to keep it mainly for the blush. Yeah, so again, this is another project I could definitely work on. The eyeshadows are nice to an extent, but they're not the best eyeshadows I've ever worked with. So yeah, we're keeping this as well. Right, we've got this sleek, I think it's a contour palette. Yeah, it is. This one's perfect for travel, because I wouldn't care if I, you know, lost it or broke it, because it's so old. But it's got a contour shade there. Oh, you can see that the pan's near. Highlighter, and then we've got that really nice blush. That's clearly a dupe for Nars Orgasm. I need to use this again soon. I'm seeing everything I want to pull out for Shop My Stash next, but I'm going to start doing weekly Shop My Stashes rather than monthly anyway, just so that there's a bit of variety going on in my everyday lives. This is the Revolution, I Heart Revolution, sorry, Bronze and Glow. And again, I've hit pan on the bronzer. The bronzer is so good, guys. The highlighter is nice too. I just wish, where the highlighter is, I wish that was the bronzer. And where the bronzer is, I wish that was the highlighter. So, yeah. Makeup Revolution, if you're listening. As if. Could you imagine if they were, though? But, yeah. Take note, Makeup Revolution. Then we've got another one. This is the I Heart Revolution Rose Gold Glow, I think. And this one is very dupeable to the Pixie Delicate Dew. In fact, this is better. Yeah, they're very similar colours, but this one is Crumbling. My favourite shade is Crumbling, so I think I need to like just put that in the bin, the Crumbling bit. It's just going to get worse. I mean, it's not even like, you know, they can get damaged in the drawers. Hang on. I thought that side had gone mouldy. I'm obsessed with mould now. Ever since that eyeshadow palette had a bit of mould on it. But yeah, this is fine and I'll be keeping it. Then we've got my Christian Dior one. So it looks like that. This is very old as well. I got the YSL one and the Dior one around the same time. I think my mum got me the YSL one for Christmas, and then for my birthday she bought me this. And this one was really nice as well when I used it. I really enjoyed it. So I put them in the face palette section because I like the blushes more than I like the eyeshadows. But the eyeshadows are quite nice as well. I would say they're good travel palettes. But obviously you need to take some mattes. Is it the best? No, but obviously with age, I'm not surprised it's not the best. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, so we've got the Kevyn Aucoin Jewel Pop Face and Eye Palette. So that looks like that. So blusher, bronzer and eyeshadows. I'm going to be putting this on the chopping block, I think. I'm not too sure whether I want to keep it. I do like the contour and the blush. I just don't really wear the eyeshadows, so therefore, but I'm keeping the Dior and YSL for like only the face products. So why shouldn't I keep this as well? I want minimal face palettes if I can get away with it, but so far I don't feel like I'm doing that great. But yeah, we'll keep this one for now. Right, we've got the PS Summer Stern, and I always keep this, so I'm quite sentimental about this, because my sister got it for me, but I have had it years. Let's take a look at it. Right, so I've took a look at it. Everything works fine, so I think I'm gonna declutter it. I don't think I'll use it again. I think my mum would like it, so let's keep it in the family and pass it on to her. We've got the Too Faced Sugar Peach Wet and Dry Face and Eye Palette. My mum got me this, so let me show you what this looks like. Oh, that just smells gorgeous. I'm going to use this summer. It's definitely a good travel palette, just for the fact that you can use the eyeshadows wet and dry. And you can use them for blusher, for highlighter, as eyeshadows. So I'm going to keep it for now, but next spring I could be passing it on. Then we've got this Kors Bronze and Glow palette. Says it's multi-purpose sun-kissed look. Right, so I also want to use this. Give it one last chance. I mean, I've just not used it enough, and that's why if I get rid of some of this stuff that's in this drawer, we can rotate a little bit better. Okay, this is going nowhere. So this is the Michaela Part 2 highlighter palette. So then to a shifty there, and then that gold one can just be used as eyeshadow. So this Starstruck has got that white to blue shift, and then that one's got like a green shift, the blinding shade. So that's why I didn't need to keep hold of the BH Cosmetics one. Plus that BH Cosmetics one is a lot bigger. Right, this Catrice Luminous can go. I had mixed feelings about this for a while. So it's the Highlight and Blush Glow palette. It's got two beautiful highlighters, and that blush at the end is a lot like NARS Orgasm as well. I don't need too many of that in my collection, so yeah, that can definitely go. So this is the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. It's going nowhere. Naomi kindly gifted me this, and again, it's got, you know, it's got shifty highlighters in it. So let me show you this. Okay, and that's what that looks like. Very, very pretty. Then I've got this Pat McGrath Labs palette. Amy sent this to me. So this is the Divine Blush and Glow Trio in the shade Galactic Sun. And you're getting two blushers and a highlighter. It's very, very stunning. I'm so appreciative to have it, because I didn't have any of Pat McGrath Labs blushes in, and I wanted to try them. And yeah, I'm hoping to use this a lot more now that I've done a little bit of a declutter. Okay, so this is the Dior palette that I said was a lot like the Huda one. I don't feel like I need both, but I am going to keep this anyway. So this is in the shade Rose Gold. Then we've got this beautiful Smashbox palette. I have used the highlighter up, but everything else is still in here. Yeah, Crush on Blush palette. It's very, very old. It's got some very, very pretty blushes in it though. Absolutely stunning. Then I've got this Ofra highlighter palette. So it's the hashtag Ofra Glow signature palette, and it's got all the best Ofra highlighters in it. So let me just show you what it looks like. Yeah, it's very pretty. Some of these would be able to wear as eyeshadow. That peach in the middle, I think it's called Bliss, and then that darker one on the end. So I'm going to keep this around for a bit longer. Catrice Light Up the Stars. This one's going. I won't take the plastic out of it, but that's all the shades there. Yeah, I'm just going to pass this on. This is the magnetic palette that I've created, and I'm going to keep this as is. And I've also got one in this month's Shop My Stash. I'll show you that at the end. Then we've got the Moira Oh La La palette. I've not used that much, so I think I want to keep it around for a bit longer. So it's from the Blooming series. Yes, so that's what that one's looking like. The highlighter, I didn't use it up or anything like that. It fell out. You know, it was very, very delicate, and it fell out when it arrived. This Essence Choose Your Glow, I'm really wanting to part with it, but something stops me every single time. It's like, you should trust your instinct, just trust your instinct. But every time I use it, I just love the glow. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I think for now, I'm going to keep it. And then, if I don't use it a lot between now and spring, I'll declutter it in spring. Okay, we've got a couple of Becca, Chloe and Malika palettes here. So, let's look at these. So this one's Malika's. It is so pretty. I love her blushes. So I'm keeping. Then this one's Chloe's. And this one's slightly more subdued, but I do like the highlighter and bronzer from this palette. The blush is not so much. Yeah, I will keep it as well. So that's my entire face palette. This is the last one. So we've got the Little Mermaid, Find You in a Mermaid highlighter palette. And this I always struggle to get rid of. I don't think I'll use them. I think I'm going to keep it around. I don't know. Part of me just says, oh, just declutter it, you're not going to use it. But then I look at the packaging, and the packaging is packaging goals, if you're a Disney fan, that is. And I am a huge Disney fan, if you couldn't already tell. I think I want to keep it. And then the last one I've got is this one. I've really been working on this month, especially that bronzer there. And that small benefit powder there as well. I'm not too sure if I want this shade. I could probably do without this, especially as there's the other, yeah, there's the other really nice kind of peach tone there, and then there's this shade down here by Benefit. I think I'm going to use it a couple more times because I've only used it once, to double check that I want that shade out. That's one of Tanya Bear's, and the bronzer is Tanya Bear. On the left hand side, the one that I said I could declutter, because I genuinely feel like I could declutter, and then not to like put another one in its place or anything, but just to have a little bit of room to move all the other blushes around. Anyhow, that's that palette there. So I'm keeping this, obviously, because it's a custom made palette for me. Some of the blushes in here I'm not 100% sold on, like Rockature I'm not sure about. I believe you can't get Rockature anymore. Somebody was telling me that, like, Rockature is the one on the top near California. Somebody was telling me that is their all-time blush. I'm just not too sure. I'm not sold on it. So yeah, I need to use this a little bit more. I have been using it in the lives, but obviously I don't want to be using it every single time. People will be getting fed up. Anyhow, that's that palette there. So this is what the face palettes look like. I believe there's 39 there with the Shop My Stash one, or it could be 40. And then I've gotten rid of 9. 9 is not a big number, but it's allowed me to have a bit more space, especially in here. So I can actually see what I've got now. And then in spring, I'll probably get rid of a few more as well. With face palettes, I do like to have variety. So it's really, really difficult getting rid of them. That's the declutter for the face palettes.